Just a quick little disclaimer before the video starts. While I don't condone what Dan Avidan may have done in the past, I do believe that he is being misrepresented, on Twitter at least, where the smallest little controversy can lead to people being called disgusting things by a community. So, without any further ado, Dan Avidan is arguably one of the most famous people on YouTube. Alongside Aaron Hansen and the rest of the Game Grumps cast, he is a cut above the rest, usually. Now, that being said, there were some things that were brought to light recently that do kind of paint him in a bit of an iffy kind of shade. Basically, Dan slept with a fan. And while that has happened, or like stuff pertaining to that kind of thing has happened recently and is probably why this has spiraled out of control on Twitter, it's not as black and white as it seems. Now, this person who Dan slept with was 1 month away from turning 17 when they initially started talking, and people on Twitter will make you think that this person that Dan was talking to was way younger, and that they're referring to Dan as the P word. But Dan is not the P word, and let me explain why. On the initial post in Reddit, the creator of the post said that Dan slowly started going from being wholesome to not so wholesome with this person, and eventually they met up in 2014. Just as a little side note, when this person and Dan met up, she was 22 and he was 30 at the time. Just putting that out there. And they hooked up. Then a month or so passed and Dan blocked them off everything and just cut ties with them entirely. Now, that kind of behavior is something that I would never encourage, but it is not what people on Twitter are trying to make you think it is. Would you call it grooming? Maybe. It might be pulling at strings, but possibly. But this person was just a fan, and they wanted to sleep with Dan, and it happened, and they probably felt bad about it after the fact because Dan blocked them. But this person and any other person who Dan may have done this with is basically a groupie, and this is very common in like musicians and like, you know, it's very common in that kind of sphere. Dan just happens to be a musician, but that's not very relevant to the topic. I'm just kind of bringing that up to kind of like show a kind of compare and contrast. Like, it's more groupie behavior than being a weird stalker, if you get me. So, while I don't think Dan is as bad as people on Twitter think he is, I don't think that that is the best thing. It's more so unprofessionalism than anything else. It's not bad behavior. It was two consenting adults, and it was unprofessional for Dan to sleep with a fan. But that's all I have to say on the matter. Personally, I still really like Dan Avidan. I don't really think this will change the way I perceive him, but, you know, it's just kind of, it's kind of weird to think about, you know, that there's so much kind of controversy being brought up with regards to YouTubers and their fans, and I think that that has kind of been fueling the flames, and whenever someone brings it up, they instantly kind of conclude that, oh, it must have been grooming, or oh, it must have been the very, very bad thing. But personally, I think that it's just a case of unprofessionalism, and if anything else comes forward, then, you know, that's entirely, like, you know, on Dan. But for now, I think that it's just Dan was being very unprofessional. He was thinking with his wee-wee, and I just think that this entire thing has a very easy resolution, but people are kind of on the cancel train right now, and they really want to get it going. But that's all I have to say on the matter. So I don't want this to be longer than it has to be. So, yeah. See ya.